across millions of gardens, a silent war rages every spring. Gardeners arm themselves with hoes, herbicides, and hatred against a single enemy. That enemy is chickweed, a plant so nutritious that a single handful delivers more vitamin C than 6 oranges. Yet we rip it out by the roots. We curse its resilience. We celebrate its death. The irony is suffocating. While grocery stores sell anemic lettuces bred for shelf life, not nutrition, our gardens overflow with the superior green. Chickweed delivers 375 milliliters of vitamin C per 100 of fresh leaves. That's 6 times more than oranges. But the industrial system taught us to hate abundance. It trained us to destroy free food and buy expensive substitutes. Chickweed spreads rapidly because nature designed it to feed us through the hunger gap of early spring. We see invasion. Nature sees provision. Modern agriculture operates on a simple principle: scarcity creates profit. Chickweed violates this principle completely. It grows without permission, spreads without assistance, and feeds without payment. The plant contains 16 amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. This makes it a nutrient-dense food source, rivaling quinoa and amaranth. Ancient Romans consumed chickweed in salads and soups throughout winter. Medieval Europeans called it starweed because it sustained them when grain stores ran empty. The vitamin C content reaches 375 milliliters per 100 of fresh leaves. That exceeds oranges by a factor of 6. Chickweed also delivers significant calcium, magnesium, and iron. But here's the revelation that changes everything. The plant remains edible and productive when temperatures drop to 20 degrees. While lettuce bolts and spinach dies, chickweed thrives. It converts frozen soil into fresh greens. This is not a weed. This is a biological miracle we've been trained to despise. Chickweed offers a flavor profile that supermarket greens cannot match. The tender leaves carry a delicate, slightly sweet taste with subtle cucumber notes. The texture remains crisp even after light cooking. 19th century cookbooks featured chickweed in more recipes than kale. Victorian households harvested it by the basketful for spring tonics. French chefs called it mouron des oiseaux and used it in classical haute cuisine. Then mechanization arrived. Industrial agriculture demanded plants that could survive mechanical harvesting, cross-country shipping, and week-long shelf storage. Chickweed fails every test. Its delicate stems bruise easily. The leaves wilt within hours of harvest. It cannot be packaged in plastic clamshells. The food industry had a choice: preserve flavor or preserve profit margins. Profit won. Now we eat iceberg lettuce, a vegetable that contains 96% water and virtually no nutritional value. Meanwhile, chickweed grows outside, ignored. The average gardener encounters chickweed and sees only chaos. The plant spreads through both seeds and creeping stems. A single chickweed plant produces up to 15,000 seeds. Those seeds remain viable in soil for decades. The stems root at every node that touches ground. This aggressive growth pattern triggers deep anxiety in people who crave control. Modern gardening culture worships neat rows and bare soil. Chickweed rejects this aesthetic completely. It forms dense mats. It appears uninvited. It refuses to respect borders. But this is precisely what makes it valuable. The same growth pattern that gardeners hate is nature's strategy for preventing soil erosion and maintaining ground moisture. Chickweed functions as a living mulch. It suppresses actual weeds while feeding pollinators with tiny white flowers. We destroy it because it doesn't match our vision of order. Nature designed it to create order of a different kind. Chickweed thrives in conditions that destroy commercial crops. It germinates in temperatures as low as 40 degrees. The plant grows actively throughout winter in temperate zones. This cold weather productivity fills a critical nutritional gap. Spring arrives slowly. Stored winter vegetables dwindle. Garden crops haven't matured yet. Historically, this period caused widespread malnutrition. Communities that understood chickweed suffered less. The plant photosynthesizes efficiently, even under weak winter sunlight. Its shallow roots extract nutrients from the top few inches of soil. This means chickweed grows where deep-rooted crops cannot. Modern agronomists classify it as a pioneer species. It colonizes disturbed ground and begins soil building. Gardeners see disruption. Ecologists see succession. Both are correct, but only one perspective includes dinner. Before industrial agriculture standardized our palates, chickweed held culinary status. Traditional British recipes included chickweed soup, chickweed salad, and chickweed sandwiches. Colonial American settlers harvested it as one of the first spring greens. Japanese cuisine incorporated it into ohitashi preparations alongside mustard greens. The tender growing tips were blanched, shocked in ice water, and dressed with sesame. Korean cooks prepared namal banchan using chickweed mixed with garlic and sesame oil. Italian peasant cooking featured it in minestrone-style soups. These weren't poverty foods. They were seasonal luxuries celebrating the return of fresh greens. The distinction matters. Modern food culture frames foraged greens as survival food for desperate times. Historical records tell a different story. Chickweed appeared in cookbooks alongside cultivated vegetables because cooks valued its unique flavor. The plant disappeared from cuisine not because taste changed, but because commercial agriculture couldn't profit from it. We inherited the absence without questioning the loss. Every spring, gardeners spend billions on organic greens shipped thousands of miles. Those same gardeners spend billions more on herbicides to kill chickweed. The mathematical absurdity is staggering. We pay to destroy free nutrition so we can pay again for inferior substitutes. This pattern reveals something deeper than ignorance. It exposes a fundamental disconnect from biological reality. Industrial agriculture taught us that real food comes from stores, not soil. It convinced us that plants growing without human intervention lack legitimacy. Chickweed challenges this programming. It offers abundance without permission. It provides nutrition without transaction. This makes it dangerous to an economic system built on scarcity. Growing chickweed isn't gardening in the conventional sense. It's allowing. The plant will appear on its own if you simply stop fighting it. This requires releasing control, trusting ecology, and accepting gifts from the soil. For many, that's harder than pulling weeds. Chickweed requires zero cultivation effort. It self-seeds prolifically and returns every year. The plant prefers cool, moist conditions and partial shade. Harvest by cutting stems with scissors, leaving roots intact. The plant regrows from the base within days. A small patch provides continuous harvests from late winter through mid-spring. Wash thoroughly to remove soil particles and small insects. Add raw to salads, blend into smoothies, or saute briefly like spinach. The stems remain tender up to 6 inches long. Beyond that length, they become fibrous. Chickweed pairs well with lemon, garlic, and olive oil. The mild flavor works in both Mediterranean and Asian preparations. Nutritional content peaks in early spring when plants grow most vigorously. Later in the season, as temperatures rise, the leaves become slightly bitter. This bitterness signals the plant shifting energy towards seed production. Growing chickweed means recognizing that nature's calendar differs from grocery store availability. You eat when the plant offers, not when convenience dictates. Across the alternative food movement, chickweed is experiencing quiet rehabilitation. Permaculture practitioners deliberately encourage it as ground cover. Foraging guides now listed among top wild edibles for beginners. Small-scale farmers sell chickweed at premium prices in farmers' markets. The same plant gardeners pay to eliminate. This creates a strange duality. Urban foragers harvest it from parks where groundskeepers curse its presence. Homesteaders value it while conventional gardeners despise it. The difference isn't botanical. It's philosophical. One group sees free nutrition and ecological partnership. The other sees disorder requiring correction. As food prices climb and supply chains prove fragile, more people question which perspective serves them better. Chickweed doesn't care about the debate. It grows regardless. It offers itself freely to anyone willing to look down instead of heading to the store. Chickweed teaches an uncomfortable truth about modern food culture. We've been conditioned to reject abundance in favor of scarcity. We trust commercial products more than plants growing in our own gardens. We pay premium prices for superfoods flown from distant continents while superior nutrition sprouts at our feet. This isn't accident, it's design. An economic system based on selling food cannot tolerate free food. Chickweed represents a threat to that system, not because it tastes better or delivers exceptional nutrients, though both are true, but because it demonstrates that abundance doesn't require commerce. Nature provides continuously if we develop eyes to see and humility to accept. Every spring, chickweed returns. Every spring, we choose whether to fight it or feed from it. The revolution isn't dramatic. It's simply choosing differently.